Mad Season show, WoW and OSRS situation.
Hey guys, what's up? Mad Season here, back with another video for you. So, OSRS, World of Warcraft, the channel, and the future of the monotone madness. Every now and then I kind of like to share what I'm thinking with the...
I feel like me and Mad Season have a similar view. Like, we both really like WoW and OSRS and both plan on making content for both. So this should be interesting to see what he has to say about what his plans are going to be going forward and stuff like that.
Channel with everyone to give you my perspective on things and what to expect from me. I do these once or twice a year, but I think this one is especially relevant considering that there seems to be something cooking at Blizzard headquarters in regards to classic World of Warcraft. I recently made a video covering that in more detail, and it's kind of raised some questions in regards to what videos I plan on making. You know, considering my background with World of Warcraft, I kind of made 500 videos about it. Some people were wondering if I'm gonna check out this, in my opinion, 99% chance of an incoming Classic Plus, and if so, if it would affect other videos on my channel, namely the OSRS series is what people are concerned about. The channel is kind of admittedly in a strange place at the moment, in the sense that I have two main different types of audiences. You have the World of Warcraft people and the OSRS people. There's some overlap for those who really enjoy my channel, but this is the main divide on the channel right now. And it's actually kind of funny.
It's not a lot of overlap.
World of Warcraft video, the WoW people are happy and the OSRS people are disappointed. And whenever I post an OSRS video, the OSRS people are happy, but then the World of Warcraft people are disappointed. For me,
bro, I feel this so heavily, guys. It's very tough to try to play two games, or to try to play both WoW and RuneScape. The audience is so heavily like pro only that their game, and they don't want you to make content for anything else but their game. So I feel this very heavily, man. I can relate.
I really like this mix because it helps prevent burnout. I actually haven't played World of Warcraft in over a year as of this recording, probably about a year and a half, I would say, but I still like making videos about it. Up until now, it's mainly just been its history or interesting moments that have already transpired since, you know, I haven't really been too interested in any of the current projects that Blizzard has been doing, whether that be retail or classic. I think I'll always have a love for the game, not Blizzard, but the game itself, vanilla World of Warcraft. So I think it'll always be a source of nostalgia and fun for me to make videos about it and to kind of express that. And as for OSRS, this is more of a new find for me, of course, and, you know, coming to appreciate another amazing MMO that I missed out on. And the series has been super fun. I look forward to playing it whenever I can. Usually, every day I'm doing something on here. What's great about that is that not only is it a different subject matter, but it's also a completely different style of video. Whereas with the World of Warcraft stuff, it's more of this scripted essay format. OSRS is, of course, more of a live reaction challenge type of series. And then kind of floating in the background, we also have Quiet Was, if I want to do some super hardcore retrospective. So there's a lot of variety for me right now, and I can sort of pick and choose what I want to do with whatever I feel in the moment. That's all well and good, but the downside is that the community surrounding the channel can get kind of awkward. But I've always kind of maintained this mindset of just doing things that are interesting or cool to me. I've said this many times before. I run my channel in a very selfish way, in the sense that I'm mainly here for myself. My hope is that you guys enjoy whatever I put out. However, it's more important to me that I
probably the best way to look at it, honestly. That's probably the best way to look at it.
It's going to result in better quality videos. I think that's kind of a core fundamental aspect of the best channels on YouTube. You know, when YouTube first became popular, the standard for entertainment at the time was cable TV and Hollywood movies, where you had, you know, these groups of actors saying out lines that were written by groups of writers. It was all edited together by groups of editors and then produced by groups of producers. And they obviously varied in format and structure, but one common thing that they all shared was that they were meant to entertain you, the viewer, so that you'd keep watching. They could run commercials, get ad revenue, sell DVDs, VHSs at the time, actually, merchandise, whatever. But then, as social media starts to grow on the internet, and you have this little independent website called YouTube start up, it was really interesting because gone were the professional actors and writers and producers and directors in this huge multi-million, sometimes billion-dollar production.
What the hell is going on in this video?
With, you know, some kid cutting up water bottles in his backyard with a samurai sword or some shit. But nonetheless, it was entertaining. And I really think that its original tagline summed it up perfectly. Broadcast yourself. It was just this website where you have all of these random channels, and some were made to entertain you, the viewer, but at least at the beginning.
Oh, the evolution of dance. I remember that.
A lot of the channels and a lot of the appeal at the beginning were just people kind of fucking around and doing things that they thought were cool and they thought were interesting. And other people were invited to join them along in the journey. However, the person who ran the channel remained to be the main priority. And I still think that, at least in my opinion, that kind of remains to be one of the core fundamental appeals of any channel on YouTube, really. I always find the most entertaining ones to be ones where the person running the channel is really interested and passionate, or they're just casually having fun with whatever the hell they're talking about or showcasing.
Right.
And usually it kind of leads to a decline when that person, in fact, loses touch with what they enjoy, and they stop making videos that they enjoy, and they start making videos that they think their audience will enjoy.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope. That's a slippery slope. That's when it becomes more like a job, and like a lot of people quit, or they quit their jobs to make YouTube videos, to play video games, because it's like the dream of theirs to do something they love, and then they try it, and then they realize it's very much like a real job. Like how, I mean, we do get to play video games, but in order to be successful at it, you have to do a lot of editing, and you have to stream a certain amount of hours. You have to stream entertaining content, or at least if you want to have viewers, you have to try to do more entertaining stuff than other people. And it's tough. And if you don't enjoy it, then you kind of get stuck in that same cycle of maybe what you left your last job for, which was doing something that you didn't want to go do, that you didn't want to do or didn't enjoy. And so that's a slippery slope. That's what I mean by that. And that's kind of what Mad Season is referring to. I'm so freaking happy that I love RuneScape and that I love, you know, making the videos that I make, because it would be a bad thing if I didn't. But you can, maybe some of you guys can tell from like the passion I put into it that I really love doing it. I hope you guys can tell. But if not, then I just want you guys to know that I do really, really like this. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be doing it. So you have to have that passion. If you lose that, it gets way less fun, and then that's when people burn out and quit.
It's when they kind of seem to lose that spark, because you can kind of tell that the interest is no longer there, and they've transitioned from doing things that they thought were cool to things that they think other people think is cool, if that makes sense. I probably worded that really poorly. So over the years, you know, having done YouTube now, it'll be 12 years in November. I really kind of maintained this as my main guiding star with the channel. And obviously, as Blizzard Entertainment had started to kind of suck balls at everything they did, and I had kind of started to lose that passion and that fire for classic World of Warcraft specifically, I initially took a really big break, spanning about 2 years, until I recharged my batteries and I came back, and I've been obviously experimenting with things such as OSRS and other retro video game documentaries or essays or whatever you want to call them. I guess that's my really long-winded way of explaining that's why the OSRS series has kind of become a thing, is because I was willing to step outside of my niche and to do something that's fun and interesting to me.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to really love Mad Season's.
I think that turned out to be a really good call, because
Mad Season's videos, man, refreshing on RuneScape.
My channel is in really a golden era. It might be my favorite era out of the 12 years that I've been
really
doing YouTube. which is saying a lot because I've had a lot of fun on this
Dang.
website over the, like 700 videos I've made on it so far. And on another level,
Dang, Matt, I didn't realize he was loving it that much, but maybe he just really enjoys the blind playthrough of OSRS. It's like a break. I have also really enjoyed this break from World of Warcraft. I love RuneScape, but I needed a break from WoW. And I just got the most pleasant surprise when I came over here to play RuneScape, like how much there is to this game and how much fun it is and how cool the community is over here. And so when I left WoW, I thought it was going to be for a few weeks. And it's almost coming up on a year now, which is crazy how fast time goes by. And it looks like what Mad Season is also feeling that same type of way.
Speaking more on this kind of awkward dynamic that I've created for the channel, it can also result in even more entertainment.
Have you seen Mad Season's YouTube videos? It's painful but wholesome. I haven't watched it because I do not enjoy watching somebody struggle through something. I don't know why, but I'm glad that other people do. And that just makes us all different and why we enjoy different videos, right? So I have seen some of them, some of his videos, watching it when Triumphant reacts to it on his stream, but I haven't sat down and watched all the videos. No, I haven't seen any of those. Yeah. So a lot of people say it's their favorite series, which is awesome. Your Inferno grind showed the determination and passion for the game. Wish you did more of the vid with the story and that piece of content. My favorite thing to tune into for a month. Well, yeah, a lot of people's favorite content is the Inferno. Unfortunately, once it's over with, it's over with. So, you know, we milked it for all we could. We did it for 25 days, and that was as fast as I could possibly do it. So we got a full month of Inferno, and it was an amazing journey. But that, unfortunately, that all those journeys, they do come to an end. But I loved the Inferno.
Because some people get like into arguments in the comments about what game I cover or play, which I personally find to be humorous. So yeah, please continue to do that for my amusement. It's crazy the things that people will get bent out of shape over, but it is humorous nonetheless. So there's a big divide in the channel right now is what I'm trying to say. And especially now, since it seems like Blizzard is actually going to do something with their game other than re-releases of newer expansions that
they gotta stop re-releasing, man,
to begin with, which
they gotta stop re-releasing the old games. Please tell me that they're done after MOP, guys. Like, we gotta stop. Do not go to WAD.
I will repeat once more.
No more TBC, no more Wrath.
Nonsensical things that I've ever seen from them, which is kind of saying a lot, but I digress.
Please.
The point is that some people kind of see it as this sort of crossroads, and, you know, to be clear here, it's not guaranteed. We may be speaking too early here, but for the sake of argument, let's just assume that it is going to happen and they do release this theorized Classic Plus. So the first question is if I'll actually play it, and it just depends on how it looks. If it looks good, then I will consider it. Right now I am leaning towards it, especially if it looks good. But otherwise, if I decide not to, obviously we'll just stick with what we've been doing. Assuming that it does release, I do envision that it'll share a lot of the characteristics of the Season of Discovery. As they stated a few times, SOD was just this big experiment to see how people react to things. So that can be good or bad, depending on what feedback they listen to. And maybe if you want further ideas, you can also look at all the questions from that survey that they released from a long time ago. I made a video on that. You'll find it on my channel somewhere. But if it feels more like Phase 1 of Discovery, which I personally enjoyed quite a bit, actually, then that's good.
Nah, Phase 1 and Phase 8? Whichever one Scarlet Monastery was. P1 and then Scarlet Monastery were like the goated phases of Season of Discovery. They were so good. And actually, the very start of P3 was insanely good too. And then they nerfed the raid, and it was just over after that. But that being said, if they can get close to that, it will be awesome. They also have to dial back a lot of things. At the same time, we want less and more. We want like less experimental stuff, like no rogue tanks. stuff like that. But we want more content, like more new areas. And yeah, more balanced talent trees, a little bit better rotations for classes, and obviously just more new zones and things to do, and then more achievement-based stuff, like just more stuff to do in Classic, and then newer zones. That's like pretty much what people want, and then slowly releasing new raids with as much horizontal progression as possible. That's kind of what Classic Plus is going to be, or I hope, and I think that it's going to be. But in a way, I want it to be good, but I just don't think it can be. And like I said, we talked about this earlier, but everyone's view on it is so different. Like what people want it to be is different between each person that you talk to. Not a single person wants it to be the same thing. And that has me worried. And Mad Season was saying he's thinking about playing it. Like that to me is a big shocker, because that's just him saying that he doesn't have much faith in Blizzard. If he's not even thinking about, like right now, he's like, maybe I'll play it. I'm like, this guy's a World of Warcraft content creator. He should be like insanely excited to play this game. But he's just loving RuneScape so much right now that he doesn't even care if Classic Plus is good. That is the biggest shock to me of this whole video.
I think a lot of people share this sentiment, not only because it was the standard fresh feel that all MMOs get, but it was also before they went too overboard with the runes, which just kind of turned the identity of a lot of the classes completely on their heads, in my opinion, at least. I don't know. To me, it kind of started to not feel like vanilla, let alone mentioning this stuff like incursions, which I think were also pretty anti-vanilla at the end of the day, as well as the increased leveling pace and gold earning, which were kind of tied to the temporary seasonal nature of that game mode. But I digress again. I do think it has massive potential, as shown with the Turtle WoW from what everybody tells me and how popular it became. But the obvious question is that, will Blizzard be able to reach that potential? That's what people have mixed opinions on. So yeah, we kind of have a lot of ifs already, but assuming all of these ifs line up ideally, some people were wondering if this is going to change the dynamic of what I upload on the channel. And it's hard to predict the future, but the answer is that I don't foresee that. For one, I'm already kind of making World of Warcraft videos. Definitely not as much as I used to, but every other video or every other 2 videos, I'll do a World of Warcraft video here and there. So in this ideal case, it would just be Classic Plus videos would dip into the World of Warcraft videos that I'm currently doing. So it would just be a transition from the more historical perspective to a more kind of current news style. Second is, like I said, OSRS and WoW, and the way that I cover them is so different that they scratch different itches for me, both from a gameplay standpoint and as an editing standpoint. I would say right now my time is kind of allocated between 3 different things. We have Old School RuneScape, World of Warcraft, and White Was. And out of those 3 things, if I have to slow down on anything, it would probably be White Was, which is just more of my passion project anyways, and far more time consuming than any World of Warcraft or OSRS video for that matter. And point number 3 is that while I do still like to make World of Warcraft videos here and there, and I am possibly curious enough to check out Classic Plus, I will never trust Blizzard with my channel again. Let's just assume it comes out and it's super amazing, awesome, happy time. I will never go all in for Blizzard. You know, having put myself into a niche over the course of like, what, 8-9 years, it has been extremely challenging to branch outside of the World of Warcraft, just due to how the YouTube algorithm works. It kind of rewards you for...
They keep putting you, they put you in a niche of a niche, and then they send everyone who's interested in that niche to you. That's how the algorithm works. So when you branch away from that niche and try to go somewhere else, it can be really bad for your channel. But the swapping from WoW to OSRS movement was actually really big. So it kind of like transcended that shift in the algorithm, and all the WoW players who started playing RuneScape started doing better on YouTube. And it just kind of worked out. Like Mad Season is doing, I don't know if he's doing better. Mad Season's channel was really big in WoW, but he's doing well on YouTube. in the RuneScape section. And I think that he kind of has the same philosophy that I had on it. Was like, I always thought I was going to be a WoW creator, and that was it. Like, you're not able to make it out of being a WoW creator. And so he sees like this opportunity that now he can play RuneScape, or he can possibly maybe play 2 games, which playing 2 games is much better for like your mental health as a content creator. So if you can get away with making content for both games, that's the ideal life that most content creators would like to be able to do, is play several games. Obviously variety would be insane, but like, people can't just be variety streamers anymore. Like that time is kind of come and gone. So if you can play 2 games, that's huge for your channel if that would work out. But I think he just hates Blizzard so much that he's like, screw it, I'll just make content for OSRS.
For sticking with one subject, and it severely punishes you for going outside of it. I feel like I've been pretty successful overall. I'm very happy with how the videos do, and more importantly, how they're received feedback-wise. So, yeah. The last thing I want to do is go all in on the thought that everything is going to be awesome and great and perfect.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I have to explain why. It would just be pretty stupid. I haven't considered myself a World of Warcraft channel in over a year now at this point.
Damn.
It's more of just a F around and have fun channel, like I said. And I like it that way. And that's the way I want to keep it. And by the way, I'm able to do that in part due to my channel members out there, because I'm less reliant on the algorithm and ad revenue. Whenever I mention this dynamic, I always want to give a big thank you to my members for supporting me and my endeavors on here. I think series like OSRS would exist anyways, because I like doing it, but it's because of the members that I have more freedom to do stuff like that, to experiment and branch out more. So yeah, I just want to give a big thank you for your support. It is very impactful on the future and freedom of the channel. So if all this comes true, Classic Plus is released, and if I decide to play it and cover it, nothing would really change. And if it doesn't come true, maybe they'll pull a Diablo Immortal and hype it up only for a mobile game release or something. Or maybe it does get announced and it just looks truly horrendously bad, and I don't play it. Once again, nothing would really change. Speaking more of the ideal scenario to me,
there is a very realistic world that they announce Classic Plus, and it's kind of hype, or people are like on the fence about it, but mostly people are like hype. They're like optimistic. Everyone plays it and it sucks, and then the people go back to playing Classic WoW. Like, that is a very realistic scenario, and it could happen. And if that happens, it is gonna be bad. Imagine all the Classic WoW players are really, really hyped. The content creators are all hyped about playing Classic Plus, and they're like, this sucks. We're just gonna go back to Classic. So that's what Mad Seasons is probably thinking right now too. He's like, yeah, I can't commit mentally or my job wise. Like, I can't like pre-commit to this thing that I don't even know if it's going to have any future.
Actually playing it and covering it, if it's good, that would be ideal. I think I speak for a lot of people actually when I say that I would like to get back into a place where I could be like legitimately optimistic about a Blizzard product, but at the same time, I think I also speak for a lot of people when I say that I'm just very wary about that for obvious reasons. Goes without saying, they've let their audience down many times over the years. I know that people find it entertaining when I'm nerd raging about them, but yeah, like I've said before, I do prefer it when I can be genuinely optimistic. I like making both World of Warcraft videos and OSRS videos. But
guys, right there, best 2 games ever made, right there.
If you forced me to choose just one right now, I would probably choose
Pick
OSRS
RuneScape,
because I am in that place with it. It's not perfect, and there are some things with it that I don't care for. But for the most part, it's great. And for the comments I've seen from the people who watch them, they also think it's great. I do think that the community is a little more chill. Well, I mean, it's an MMO community, so there's always going to be high toxicity, but I feel like I can say critical things of OSRS without people getting torrentially butt mad and defensive.
Hey, you! Stop bullying the multi-billion-dollar company!
Yeah, I don't know. I've just got the impression that the OSRS crowd seems more chill and enjoyable than the classic World of Warcraft crowd at the moment. So, at least with my channel in this series, there's this really genuine positive atmosphere with the videos, whereas, you know, anything World of Warcraft related, especially Classic Plus, since it's going to be a modern Blizzard product, it's obviously a much more pessimistic atmosphere. I'm not saying that's wrong, or there's anything wrong with that. It is entirely understandable, and
God dang, bro. When I see pictures of like classic WoW, it just like it makes me so nostalgic and hopeful that it will return to its former glory one day, and everybody will love classic WoW again, and it'll just be the biggest game on the planet, and everyone's playing it. Even like guys like Summit and Shroud, they're all playing it, and it's just like this crazy nostalgia, reliving your childhood, just former glory days playthrough, and Classic Plus is just this thing we've all been waiting for, you know. But I think that that's just like too big of a hopium copium thing for them, like too big of shoes to fill. I don't think that we'll ever be able to relive the nostalgia we had as kids. Games were just too good as kids. Like, we grew up in that era where the MMOs were just so far ahead of their time. And then as you get older and you remember them as even better than they were. And so now we're competing against those memories, and those memories are just so good that nothing in the present can compete against the past. And I feel like that's where we're at with MMOs. And it's sad because I want that MMO, you know, but I don't think it's coming. However, we'll see at BlizzCon, whatever they announce.
I've been there, of course. But for me, I do enjoy the more positive and optimistic atmosphere, as long as it's genuine and not just, you know, blind rabid fanboyism.
Hey, you! Stop bullying the multi-billion-dollar company!
As long as I can genuinely feel it, I like to be a part of that combined celebration of something that's awesome and fun, rather than, you know, this sucks, this is bad, this is terrible, and so on and so forth. And really, that just depends on the end product. It's in Blizzard's hands. If they put out a quality product, it's my desire that they do. And it is also my desire that I enjoy it, and I have lots of fun with it, and I have things to look forward to in both OSRS and World of Warcraft. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Whatever the case, I do hope that you've been enjoying the videos that I have been putting out. I expect more of the same for the near future. Thank you for checking out my channel and, you know, sharing your kind comments. I really like where the channel is right now, and I hope you do too. And if you guys see anyone asking about these dynamics of the channel and its future, feel free to link
Got
them
the
this
farmer hat
video
on
if I haven't already, because yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say, I think. But yeah, with that being said, thanks again for watching. Like the video if you liked it, because I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Good video from Mad Season, man. Good video. I'm glad he's playing OSRS, one of us, and he's enjoying the game. That to me was a W. You know, I feel like me and Mad Season are kind of in like a similar spot. Both came from WoW, both loving OSRS. We're on two different journeys, but if I had to choose one game right now, I'm also choosing RuneScape. And everything that I wanted from Blizzard, Jagex has done. Like, for me as a content creator, and you know, they're consistently like reaching out to me, inviting me stuff. Dude, they sent me stuff. Like, this is just like above and beyond what any you know, gaming company should do for their content creators. And why would I want to go back to Blizzard? You know, why would I want to go back to that? Jagex is just awesome. Like, whatever you think about them, that's all. That's fine. But from my perspective as a content creator, there could be no better company to create a game for than Jagex. Just because the people that are working there, they're awesome. They're really nice people, and they're great at what they do, and they really listen. They really listen. If you reach out to them, they listen. You know, whether it's on the forums or Twitter, or if I DM Aiza with something, then he responds. And you cannot do that. There's like maybe 5 people, literally the 5 people that got flown to Blizzard. Those are like the 5 people that can maybe contact someone at Blizzard and get through to them. So I feel like Blizzard needs to broaden that a bit and have a much more community presence, and just kind of just be. I really just want Blizzard to be more like Jagex. That's what I want. I want the game to be more like RuneScape, and I want the company to be more like Jagex. And I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't ever get a hold of Jagex. I mean, have you ever messaged Mod Aiza on Twitter or something like that? Or Mod Ash? You know, there was Mod Ash had averaged like 75 tweets a day or something like that for like 5 years straight. He had like 80 something thousand tweets or something like that. Like Mod Ash responded to everyone, even the trolls that were messaging him like just nonsense. He would respond to them. That's pretty insane when you think about it. Like the level of that they care to just reach out to everybody and make sure that they don't feel like they're not being heard.